freshman, a legend in the plans. Please listen every day to the showcase. The opinions and knowledge that anyone can take. Showing you how it is done. Proving I am number one. What a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here. This podcast just to make it loud and clear. By the fans, for the fans. Not many whose head can understand everything pro wrestling. It can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes.
What's up, everyone? My name's LBJ. That's ELBJ. Sometimes the L is silent. And I am your host for EPW's Everything Pro Wrestling's The Countout. And just like everything EPW does, it's made by the fans and for the fans. So, you may be asking, what is The Countout? Well, every week, you're going to get a wrap-up of wrestling news and moments in a short but jam-packed podcast episode. You're going to hear a 10 count of top news stories and my commentary on them. You're going to get a top 5 count of wrestlers of the week as determined, well, today by me, but potentially by a listener's voting poll. We'll see where we go. And then you're going to end with a 3 count of my predictions. So, without any further ado, let's get into the show. It's time for the 10 count news.
One.
Tell you, I think Britt Baker's nose is broken or something here.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Wait, Britt now with the glove, and Toni Storm flat in the center of the ring.
She's going to send a message to the champion here. She's seen a ghost, but it's not a ghost. It's Saraya here. Run! Saraya in AEW. Holy smokes!
Number 1 this week is Saraya making her AEW debut. She came out at Arthur Ashe Stadium during AEW Dynamite Grand Slam right after the women's match to make the face save as Dr. Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Serena Deeb were putting a beat down on Toni Storm. The building went crazy, as you heard, and yeah, we will probably be waiting until next Wednesday to see what role or what big of an impact she's going to make in AEW.
2.
War Games!
Number 2 this week is Survivor Series War Games has been announced by Triple H. He has announced that there will be a women's and a men's War Games match. Whether or not this replaces the traditional Survivor Series match this year is yet to be announced. But a lot of people are excited, including myself, and I hope they keep the traditional one too. Let's just do all 3 this year. Also not sure if this is just a one-time thing or if this is now a merging of 2 ideas. We will have to see.
4.
And I'm here right now to save your ass. Leave while you can. Because the beating that Roman Reigns put on you won't be the easy time that Floyd Mayweather gave you. He's not my boy, he's my tribal chief. He's my tribal chief.
Hey, Roman! Yeah, where is it?
Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns, set for Crown Jewel, is at number 3 this week. Not really much more to say other than, will this also be another impressive outing for Logan Paul, or will the Tribal Chief just squash Logan instantly and show him that he is not as good as he thinks he is?
5.
Coming in at number 4 this week is the mysterious QR code, the White Rabbit mystery, the song that has been playing at live events in between, like for SmackDown commercials, but just in between matches, all hinting at something or someone coming to WWE, with a lot of speculation that it is the return of Bray Wyatt. If you get a chance, go and look online for the QR code that was in the background of an Austin Theory segment. There you will see someone playing Hangman, and it asks who killed the world, and it first shows Demon, then it shows you did. There's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of speculation of this, but it is a really fun thing as a wrestling fan, I believe, to not have all the clues completely spelled out for you, but lets the mystery evolve.
5.
In our 5th story for the week, Wade Keller is reporting that CM Punk is not expected to return to AEW. This obviously is big news. 2 weeks ago, I had actually made the prediction that I did not think Punk was going to return, but I had nothing to base that off of except my own feeling and intuition. So this news isn't necessarily surprising to me, as it may be for some. However, they are talking about buying out his contract, and as we know any more news, we will let you know as well.
6.
This story carries a lot of weight and a lot of speculation and a lot of opinion. But number 6 this week is WWE are apparently planning a quote-unquote farewell for Vince McMahon at this year's WrestleMania. What that entails, obviously the thought process would be a grand exit honoring him and for his contributions into onto the wrestling world, but that is pretty much all we've heard and all we know at this point in time. Again, a lot of opinions there, a lot of reasons for both sides of thinking that this is okay and also thinking that it's not. What do you guys think about this? Let EPW know in comments on our social media, all of that. Your thoughts on a farewell for Vince McMahon at WrestleMania.
7.
Story 7 this week is about Kenny Omega and heat apparently on him following a backstage speech he gave a few weeks ago. There were reports that they had a staff meeting. This is before the CM Punk Elite breakdown and fight at the All Out show. But in this speech, it was talked about Kenny was kind of giving a tough love sort of speech. Also maybe dropping a few jokes, but seemingly people weren't able to tell if it really was a joke or if it was the appropriate time to be making jokes. Making remarks about how he wouldn't have hired the majority of the people who were back there. He had poked fun with Will Ospreay and everything else there in the back, and apparently that has drawn the negative opinions of a lot of the workers for AEW. So yeah, not a good look. I understand if he was just being humorous, but given the gravity of situations, not only at All Out, but things heading into All Out, maybe that wasn't the best time to be a comedian when they really needed someone to be a leader.
8.
Number 8 this week is also about the cleaner, and his first appearance after the suspension, being on the Tokyo Game Show and on Capcom TV's stream while he was recently visiting Japan. And on this stream, they showed a bruise on Omega's left forearm in the shape of a bite mark. And of course, if you know the story about Ace Steel reportedly biting Kenny Omega, based on what we saw bruise-wise, it looks like that part of the story is definitely true, and it does not look pretty. So, hope Kenny's alright, obviously. When the details of this all come out, eventually, later on down the road, it is going to be absolutely crazy.
9.
And number 10 this week is Malachi Black releasing a statement regarding his AEW release. It was rumored that Malachi Black may have left right at the end of All Out, and that it could have been due to some mental health issues. Well, Malachi went on to Instagram to type up a statement, which is really worth a read if you get the chance to go and view it. But basically, he was saying that he's had a lot of life setbacks, him and his wife having life setbacks, issues with their friends, the loss of life around their family, setbacks from promises from not upheld regarding his career, whether that's an AEW thing or a WWE thing. That's to be questioned. But that he has been going through a lot of physical health issues and getting things back together. He at one point thought that he was going to have to retire, and now he's not. But for the last 6 months, he's been thinking about this, and he finally went and asked for the release due to that. And he said, "For now, know that I am good, and I am taking, for the first time in 22 years, a few months to recalibrate the last 2 decades of my life." Again, go and check out that post and read it and get all the information from there. But of course, we want to wish Malachi Black the best. Hope he finds out what he needs to find out regarding himself, and finds himself in a better space when it comes to mental health. And once he gets everything back where he wants, hopefully we will see him back in a wrestling ring. And now it's time for the top 5 wrestlers of the week.
Another spear! 1, 2, 3, the champion retains! Here is your winner, and still the United States champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley!
Coming in at number 5 on the wrestlers of the week this week is Bobby Lashley, retaining the U.S. title in a hard-fought match against Seth Rollins. And honestly, I don't know who they have in mind to defeat Bobby Lashley at this point, but they have made the U.S. title feel like a much bigger deal than what it had in previous months since Triple H has taken over, and Bobby Lashley just keeps getting the job done. Number 4, we also talked about in our top news story of the day, Saraya returning to wrestling, returning to the wrestling ring, this time for AEW. What role will she play? Who knows? But that building exploded for her, and it is good to see her back in a ring, and hopefully she does well with her return.
Ref never saw it. Ref didn't see the low blow. Claudio's wobbly, guys.
Oh, Judas effect.
Oh, wow.
Measure.
cloud of dishonor has enveloped the Ring of Honor World Championship. The antithesis of what the letters ROH have meant about competition, sportsmanship, engaging in the code of honor. I'm flummoxed.
Number 3 this week is the new Ring of Honor World Champion, Chris Jericho. Yes, you heard all of that audio and that correctly. Chris Jericho is the new ROH champ, adding yet another notch in his belt for world titles and also statistics, helping him reach the status of, well, to some, the GOAT.
Danielson is fading.
Paul's looking around.
All that weight.
Paul's looking around.
That's
It's
it.
That's it.
That is it.
The winner of the Grand Slam Tournament of Champions and new All Elite Wrestling World Champion, Jon Moxley.
What a classic main event. What a tournament of champions.
Unbelievable.
Number 2 this week is your first ever 3-time AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Jon Moxley. In what was something I was sure going to be a Bryan Danielson win, Moxley choked him out, passed him out, became the 3-time AEW champion in a great main event at Arthur Ashe Stadium on this week's AEW Dynamite Grand Slam.
Oh, the arrival. Can Costa do it?
And the mic drop. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. This place is rumbling. You got new champs, guys. This whole place came unglued when that happened. That was wild.
What a moment for the Acclaimed.
What a journey for these two kids, huh? Tell you what, give an assist to daddy ass Billy Gunn, but don't matter. Got new champs.
Ted, we were there for the start of things, those long nights in Jacksonville for the Acclaimed.
Long cold nights at Daly's place.
And they have come so far. Now, winning the AEW World Tag Team Championship on the biggest stage of it all.
What a great save, too, by Bowens as Keith Lee tried to get, hold on, here we go. It's a great moment, guys. It really, really is. I'm glad to be a part of it.
And number 1 this week on my top 5 wrestlers of the week is the Acclaimed, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, winning the AEW World Tag Team Championships at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. The clip speaks for itself. Everybody loves the Acclaimed. I am certainly a fan of the Acclaimed, and that pop, not only for when they normally come out, but just winning that match was insane. Not very often do you hear them that loud, and they have earned that, well, acclaim. So yeah, number 1 this week is the Acclaimed. Alright guys, I've got 3 predictions for you to end out this episode, and I'm going to give them all to you here in one grouping, because some of them are just completely speculative. I have nothing, to say that any of these are going to be true. Some of them I don't even have a background reason other than that's just what I feel, but let's just go right into them. So prediction number 1, I think an ROH TV deal will start this November. I think Jericho winning the ROH World title does a lot to help advertisers to see that Jericho's the champion, to put more eyes on whatever network, station, channel, whatever it ends up on. And so I think that is a leading reason as to why Jericho won this title, and I think that sets up a deal in November, especially if it's on a TV network, because that's when a lot of what they call sweeps happen, and they get a lot of network data and who's watching what, and it'll help bolster a network. So that is prediction number 1. Prediction number 2 is I think Sasha Banks will win the Women's Royal Rumble this year. I don't know if that's where she makes her return, because I think in the Men's Royal Rumble we're getting a return and win in the same match. But I think Sasha Banks will be the winner of the Female Royal Rumble, regardless of whether or not it's her return or if she's been back for a few weeks. And number 3 this week is I believe that Bronson Reed is going to return to WWE. And I think that he is going to be the one to finally take down Bobby Lashley and win the United States title off of him. Just honestly, don't know why I feel that way, but Bobby Lashley has been on a tear, and I think it would be really beneficial for someone to debut and make a name for themselves by being able to beat the almighty Bobby Lashley for that title, and I think Bronson Reed would be a great shout to do so. So yeah, that's my 3 predictions for this week. What did you guys think? If you liked it, if you could, please give us a 5-star review. You can find everything pro wrestling on all the social medias, on YouTube, on podcast services. Please rate, review, like, subscribe, anything that they could possibly do to help us out if you enjoyed this. If you want to give us feedback, please send anything to the Facebook groups, put it in the comments, put it in the reviews. We'd love to hear about it, love to know what you think about the countout, about everything pro wrestling. And until next week, I have been your host, LBJ, and I will catch you later.
Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinions, the lesson, yes. By the fans, for the fans, not many in this can understand, this the podcast to show you who I am, Conrad Cushman, the legend in the plans, please listen every day to the showcase, the opinions and knowledge that anyone can take, showing you how it is done, proving I am number 1, what a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here, this podcast just to make it loud and clear, by the fans, for the fans, not many who's here can understand everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinion and the lesson, yes. Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinions, the lesson, yes.